Siten sidi ba sama ale tariya di ba sana izitame mata sonna kibu bilo baye tadi ba ba si kaniya batu ale
Eu, cada dia, quando acordar, vai à minha machamba. Quando haver um emprego assim da machamba, da empresa, vai fazer o trabalho da machamba, fazer canteiros, filhos. Meus filhos estão a criar por minha força de trabalhar na empresa, fazer produção e vender. Sim.
Só ir na machamba, fazer trabalho, ganhar pouco dinheiro, comprar comida, dar. Só não há maneira outra.
What women need there is really the basics. What they're thinking about is feeding themselves, feeding their children, having a place to sleep, having a place to stay warm, having a place to be safe.
The average age of the women that marry in Mozambique is quite young, usually around 16, possibly even 15 years of age, which means that as they enter into the marriage, they no longer go to school. And so what happens is that when the woman is no longer going to school, she's not going to be able to teach her family. And so it has a tendency to keep the entire family down in terms of their education. The women have no hope. The women of Mozambique have a tendency to accept their lot in life, that they're not going to rise above a certain level, that their education may or may not happen, that their economic situation is going to be very dire. And so they don't think beyond that. Mozambique is one of the poorest nations in the world, and without education, the country will stay at the level where it's at.
And we've been helping girls through sponsoring them in school, through getting uniforms for them, other programs, helping some women on the chicken ranch. But from the very beginning, we were interested in having a center where we specifically helped these women who are in such tremendous need. We went to Mozambique for the first time in 2006 in the spring, and we went to other places in Africa. We were looking for projects to help people to be able to feed themselves. But we were committed to the people by the time we got home and knew that we needed to do something to help. And so for about a year and a half after we got home, we did fundraising and tried to get some ideas together and went back over and got some projects started.
We started helping women support themselves with chickens. And then Charlotte read in the Wall Street Journal that if you helped a girl go to school, you changed her life, basically, even 1 year of school. So she started a program with helping girls go to school.
We visited one village where there were mostly women. A lot of them were widows or their husbands had left them. And one of the women approached me as we were leaving and said, "A lot of groups come and say they want to help us, but they never come back." And that really hit home with me, and I really didn't want to be one of the people who came and looked at them and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and then did nothing.
Project where we are teaching them sanitation, about the chickens that they're going to raise. And so I'm learning all I can about properly raising them, and it's also for their food. And so I think that is very important to them, just because they need to learn how to properly raise them so that they can have clean food.
I'm part of the health and hygiene group, and our plan is to get hygiene kits and dental kits for the women and children.
We're going to be teaching classes about hygiene and job skills and things like that will help them.
So we've been looking at eye health, we've been looking at women's health, we've been looking at general health, children's health, infectious disease, all sorts of things, trying to decide which particular emphasis we should have in this facility.
This project was really interesting to me just because of the collaboration with the dance department, the geography department, and the women's studies. I haven't heard of any collaboration like that here at Weber State before.
We try to go in the community and educate people using dance and bringing them together through dance.
The enthusiasm of the students really is infectious, and so we're delighted with that, and their interest in helping.
When they got the plans, they didn't know how to read the plans, and so they asked, how big is this? And they said 30 meters wide and 20 meters deep. Well, it was supposed to be 20 meters wide by 10 meters deep. So what we're going to have to do is we have to kind of think on our feet, and we're going to have to add posts in the center of the room like they've done.
Well, I don't know about you, but walking into this building, it's huge, much larger than even I imagined. And I think what happened was something got lost in translation. There's this feet meters sort of thing that 3 feet makes 1 meters. We laid out the plan in feet and it was translated to meters. So anyway, here's where we are. It's a Taj Mahal of this area of Mozambique, and we're loving it.
Hey ho, nobody home, eat nor drink nor money have we none. Can't you hear the melody? Hey ho, nobody home. What am I doing?
That was great.
Because like things haven't been always like super organized, which is fine, because like this is the first time any of us are doing any of this, and so you just have to just get in there and get your hands dirty and do it.
Coming in the building not being exactly where we thought it would be was kind of a downer, but I feel like everyone pretty much stepped up and was able to do what we had to do to get the work done, to get the center ready for the women.
I have been mostly painting, but the prep work for painting is a lot. So we've been sanding the walls and around the windowsills and in the corners, and prepping that to be primed, and then priming. It's a pretty big building, so we've been doing a lot of that. And then finally we just started painting today.
I've been on the concrete crew. I've been wheelbarrowing concrete in. Over there to my left is the chicken coop. I did a lot of the work to dig the footings for that. And right now I'm working on doing the leveling the ground for the gardening. And it's a great thing too. I get to tell any potential grandchildren I have that I flew 10,000 miles to shovel chicken poop.
It's late in the day. We have been working many days in a row. Everyone's exhausted. We're tired. We're starting to break down, but it's a good thing. It's a type of energy that we have now is low energy because we've been working every day very hard. High energy because we're here in Africa doing a very good thing.
The women expressed on the bus in a song that they were singing in Changana that they were satisfied with the project, and so if they're satisfied, I'm satisfied. It's going really well.
I am shocked every day I come here and people are still going. They're still working just as hard as the day before, and that's something like I'll forever be grateful for like the students here.
We've been working hard. I've never worked this hard in my life. I honestly can say that. I'm still hurting, but it's worth it. I left my sweat, tears, and every single ounce of strength here because it's worth it and I love it.
would say the highlight of my experience in this trip to Mozambique is meeting what I would call a lot of very sweet, humble, cooperative, personable people. I've enjoyed the people.
We got to hang out with some of the workers who were doing the concrete crew. They were local Mozambicans, and the surprising thing about that experience was how similar we all were in our backgrounds as far as culture, because they had phones that had all kinds of American music on them, like Beyonce and Celine Dion and things like that. So it was interesting to me seeing how, even though we were 10,000 miles away from people as far as where we live is concerned, there's still all those common threads.
Really, I came here to teach them a lot of things, but in return I've gotten so much more from them. I've learned an immense amount of just living life in the present from these ladies. They're just such an amazing individuals, and from the bottom of my heart, I think they're the kindest, most generous people I've ever met in my life.
Like when I'm feeling discouraged or like I don't want to work, I just think back to the women and how happy they've been here. Like they've been since we've got here, and like the workers, how excited everyone is.
Yet they got in the bus and started clapping, singing Gani Gani Mambo, which was thank you for being here. And that's all we hear is Gani Mambo and Obrigada, and they're just so appreciative. They're just so full of love.
The thing I've missed the most being here is my family. As I watch them in their little families, and most of them are just women with children or women just helping each other. And it's made me realize how much I love my family, and I can't wait to go throw my arms around them and kiss them. They are beautiful, warm, loving women, and just having them invite us into their community and into their homes, and so proud to show us what they have, which isn't a lot by our standards, but they were so willing to show us and so happy to have us come in and see, and also to see the desire they have to better their situation.
How the Mozambican women are so genuine and loving and caring, and that they can be happy with just a few simple things. That they don't need a big mansion, they don't need a fancy car, they laugh, they sing, they're happy. And I think that's a huge life lesson to learn, that we don't need a lot to make our lives happy, that we make our own happiness.
Now it's been suggested, and I think it's true, that we need to encourage the women to use this facility as much as possible. In other words, you could set up a Saturday market in the space we have, and the women could come here to sell their goods and wares in this Saturday market. It would get them used to coming, to the center. And then there are other things it could do. You could hold marriages, that is weddings.
Mashamba pode aprender, costura também pode aprender, qualquer coisa que vai sair. Estou pronto para fazer.
Não, faz sozinho. Eu não tenho marido. Agora, a força que eu faço para ter o bem para a minha vida, com a minha família, esse mesmo de trabalhar. Sim, esse de trabalhar. Por isso eu estou a dizer assim, eu gostaria que esse centro não cair, não ter aquela coisa de acabar vontade, nós ter vontade para trabalhar e ir à frente, produzir para a pobreza. Não vamos acabar, mas mais ou menos vai ficar um pouco normal. Vai ficar um pouco normal, porque aquele que nós vamos fazer é aquele que nós vamos diminuir a nossa pobreza. Sim.
This will be a place of refuge for the Mozambican women. This will be a place where they can go to hope and to dream and to gain an education that they so desperately need. Opportunities will open up for the women. They're going to be learning budgeting techniques. They're going to be learning language. They're going to be learning how to progress and to improve the economy of their family, and eventually that will lead to the improvement of the economy of the nation.
And I've just been thinking about how us doing this is helping somebody, and this is something that everybody can do, and I want to continue to help other people and go and do projects like this. It's just good. I know they're going to benefit from it.
Keep a positive attitude. Like you make it what you want it to be. So, you know, if you're thinking this is terrible, I hate this, it's hard, but if you change your perspective to say I'm doing something great for these people, then you get through it a lot better, and it's funner, and it becomes more of a learning experience rather than something that's hard and difficult.
One woman asked me when I was putting some money in the bank for our work over there, why don't you like boys? Why are you just helping girls and women? And I said, well, we like boys, but the reason we help women and girls is when you help a young woman, then you help a family.
If you educate a woman, you educate a family. And if you educate a family, obviously you're going to educate a generation, okay? And that the expansion of each generation coming out of this, using this center, could mean that we make a very big difference, that the women in this general area could be far ahead of their sisters who are in other areas that don't have this center.
Sometimes you think you need a big crew, or you need a lot of money, or you need a big NGO, nonprofit organization to make a change in the world. But you don't. It's just you individually trying to go out there and do good. It's the power of one individual.